Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of this channel of the Modest Geek. Today, given that this week is the premiere of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we're going to talk about something very important. Well, actually, it's not really. For me, it is important. For me, it's dear to my heart. Dare I say? But we're gonna steal the spotlight from Wanda and from Doctor Strange, actually, and we're gonna focus on America Chavez. Why? Well, honestly, if I'm being 100% completely honest, everywhere I go, it's all about Wanda and Doctor Strange. Makes sense. They're the main characters of this new movie that is premiering this week in theaters. But there's this silent character that I think has the potential to become one of the main leads and one of the main characters for the MCU moving forward. Now I'm gonna get to that in a few minutes, and let me tell you why I think that this character is gonna be really important, not just for this movie, but for movies yet to come, projects yet to come. Unnamed or whatever Marvel is planning, I think that America Chavez is going to be one of those characters that will play a big role in some of them. Now, who is America Chavez? You might be wondering. For those of you who do not know or have not read the comic books, in all honesty, I have not read the comic books, so I had absolutely no idea of America Chavez until it was actually mentioned. It was actually confirmed that she would be in this movie. Now, America Chavez is... I was reading on her biography, on her background story, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting how powerful she is, and it's very rich. It's very, very interesting. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's a synonym for interesting. I think that interesting is actually really the right word for this character, and what basically her story, her origins, and her powers come from. So let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about her origins and where she comes from. So basically, America Chavez actually was born from two women. I mean, she has two mothers. One of them is Amalia, and the other one is named Elena. Now, at the age of 5, America and her little sister, she had a little sister Catalina, were brought to a private island owned by the millionaire Mr. Gales, where they had a high-end facility, medical facility that it was set up, and it was basically used also for by America's mothers, who were expert at microbiology and pathology. Now, they were trying to find a cure for America and Catalina of Edge syndrome, a discovered genetic disease linked to the XX chromosomes. Now, once America started, getting better, showing remission, her powers starting to manifest to the very delight of Mr. Gales. I'm assuming, because I have not read the comic books, that Mr. Gales is probably the bad guy here. He's probably not a really good fella, this old chap. And he was attempting to encourage, America to use her powers against her mother's wishes, to both her mother's wishes. Now, because her mothers refused continuing allowing Gales to exploit their daughters, basically, and the other girls, because there were more girls at this facility, America and Catalina were taken by Elena to a rendezvous for escape. They were trying to escape, right? They were trying to escape that place. Alas, I'm gonna make it short. Long story short, none of them make it except America. Dr. Gales actually makes sure to pretty much either end one of their mother's lives, and the other mother, I believe that she died in the crossfire, in the explosion. The whole island went kaput, and And America Chavez, in trying to escape, she opened a star portal, which is actually her signature portal, basically. And when she was right about to escape with her sister, Dr. Gales takes her sister, and, well, pretty much the last thing America saw was all the island on fire, and her believing that all of her family was completely gone. So that's her origin story. That's where she comes from. I'm pretty sure there's more to it, as you know, to the genes, to the XX chromosomes, to her disease, but we're not going to get into too much detail here. Just want to give you like a really quick background story for you to know who she is, you know, where she comes from, and so on and so forth. Now, because she opens a portal to a different universe, she suffers an amnesiac episode, and she was, you know, she woke up, drifted along the waters, and until she was found by the Santana family, and well, they pretty much adopt her, long story short, and they took her to their Washington Heights home and raised her as their own, and well, they were actually also claiming that she was a relative from San Juan, not basically they didn't want the girl to get lost in the foster care system. Now, to help her feel better, they forced her, they didn't force her, they pretty much, now 3 years after her adoption, America regained her memories again, and she told the Santanas. Now the Santanas were a bit worried, so they hired a child psychologist who also believed she was inventing, or she was at least suffering, you know, from a defensive coping mechanism after all the trauma that she went through. Okay? So when the psychologist told the Santanas what America told her, she actually impressed them with basically her showing them her power, or her ability to fly after seeing a dove. So one of her powers is that she can fly, she can open portals through different universes. So that's two quite amazing superpowers. Now, I don't want to get into too much. There's a little bit more with the Santana family. America spent a few years, you know, once she got her powers back and her memories, fighting against, you know, bullies and criminals, you know, basically a vigilante, helping out the NYPD. And there was a bit of a fallout. The Santanas didn't want her to do that, and she, being the rebel she is, you know, she kept insisting, she kept pushing until she parted ways. She escaped the Santana's family, and she regained her last name, Chavez, America Chavez. Instead of being America Santana, she returned to be America Chavez. So that's basically a little bit of the kickstart of the story. From that point on, America Chavez has had like really a number of adventures with different teams: Young Justice, Team Brigade. She has traveled through different types of universes. That's the reason why she's in the movie. This is the Multiverse of Madness. America Chavez actually is very important because she actually can travel through universes. She can open portals. She's like super powerful. She has super strength. She's quite actually very fast. She's very fast, even to the surprise of Wiccan. She has a very interesting relationship with Kate Bishop as well. They actually have one of the most, adorable friendships, for what I heard in the comic books. Not adorable, but it's like long-lasting friendships, because she can travel through different Earths. She befriends this Lady Catherine of Bishop, who's essentially Kate Bishop, and they have like adventures with the Young Justice and all that, of course, but they become friends real quick. Now, not only she befriends her, but she actually travels with her through a portal to New York City, where because Lady Catherine was craving for pizza, and that's when they see a dog with a pizza, and Lady Catherine actually, she adopts that dog and names that dog Lucky Pizza, if I'm not mistaken. Now, again, America Chavez has had enemies, has defeated enemies like Doctor Doom. She confronted Thanos. She even confronted even Carol Danvers. That's Captain Marvel right there. She confronted Captain Marvel in one instance, and she was pretty strong on her feet. She was pretty strong as well. She is by far, I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the strongest Young Justice members out of all of them. I don't know how many they are, but yeah, she's probably like in the most. She can travel through, portals and stuff, and she actually doesn't age as people normally do. Because of her disease, she ages in a different way. It takes longer for her to age. So, kudos to that. Eternal young. Yes, youth. Anyway, so again, her friendship with Kate Bishop is not like the only thing that is important, that is relevant. She helps Carol Danvers' team every now and then. She helps the Avengers. She has helped also Wakanda and Black Panther as well. She is like one of the most astonishing new members of this new phase of Marvel thus far. And this is just me. I'm just being excited about this whole thing. And amongst her many adventures, there's usually she keeps coming back to Kate Bishop in different Earths. In fact, there's one time where they wanted to chat because there was something went wrong with the mission and America was feeling guilty, and Kate Bishop wanted to talk about it. Like they were always there for each other, even if it's another version of Lady Catherine of Bishop. The original version America Chavez met previously in a different Earth. She still became friends with every Earth Kate Bishop that she has found, at least so I've read. Maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but that's what I read. Okay, now why am I talking about this? One thing that I love about this character the most, and probably many of you might have guessed by now, is the fact that she is LGBTQ plus friendly. And by friendly, I mean she's lesbian, and she has a girlfriend named Lisa. Now, why am I mentioning this and how relevant this is? It is relevant. First of all, she has two mothers. And again, that's a queer community representation right there. She represents not only just the LGBTQ plus community, she also represents the Latino community, and also, she's awesome. She's pretty much awesome. Her powers are pretty much awesome. Now, the reason why I was mentioning the fact that she has this amazing chemistry and friendship with Kate Bishop, and she has a girlfriend named Lisa, now, is because, now I don't know if the Marvel that I know, that we've all know, that we've seen their movies from years now. Now, I do not know what they're going to do with America Chavez. I think that this is her start. This is the beginning of her story in the MCU. I think that we're going to see a lot more from her, because she has literally connection to a lot of interesting people, important people in the comic book series. Now, The one thing that I'm not sure they're gonna do, and this is one of the things that I'm mostly intrigued. Again, I'm not like looking forward to it. I mean, I would like to see it happen, but being Marvel or Disney the way it is, I doubt it. And I'm gonna take MJ's side in this. Expect disappointment, and you won't get disappointed. It's to see if Marvel, at least the MCU, might develop a romantic relationship between Kate Bishop and America Chavez. Now, why do I say that? Especially because in the comic books, actually, the only one who is lesbian is actually America Chavez, and Kate Bishop, she's straight as they come. It's because the narrative so far, thus far, from the shows, and hasn't been really. Again, they usually take liberties. Maybe they go by the book with this one, and they find Lisa and they find America Chavez, a girlfriend who's not Kate Bishop, or maybe they do make them romantic pairings. I know that being a superhero movie, romance is not the only thing that it's going to focus, but then again, if they focused on romance, or at least if they add romance with a Tony Stark and a Pepper Potts in the Iron Man movies, why not do the same with other types of couples, right? So now, like I said, in the comic books, I know that a lot of fans of the comic books have always shipped America Chavez with Kate Bishop because they've been like, again, her friendship is like everlasting. They're always there for each other and they're always teasing each other, but nothing like really ever happens. It's just a good, really, a very good friendship. And I mean, they could do it. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with them doing it. But like I said, Marvel being Marvel, maybe mainly more Disney being Disney, and I don't honestly see how they're gonna do it. Probably they're gonna stick to the original, Kate Bishop dating boys and stuff and such. The good thing about it is that in the Hawkeye series, it wasn't really like established Kate Bishop's sexuality. It was all about her family and her becoming her own hero and working alongside Hawkeye, and it was central. It was basically that was the main focus of the story, which I think it was interesting, and I think it was the right thing to do at the time, which actually leaves more room in the future in case Marvel and Disney, if Disney approves, to make Kate Bishop a little more, perhaps queer. But then again, that's something that I want to see. That's something that probably other fans might want to see too. I don't think the actresses will oppose to that if they actually pitch the idea or if they come up with it. But it's not up to me. It's at the end of the day, it's up to Marvel and Disney. But that's not the reason. That's not the reason why I think she's that important. That's just like something that I would like to see, and maybe some of you guys do, some of you guys don't. Regardless of the romantic pairing, regardless of all of that, I think that America Chavez, having all of these amazing abilities and having cross paths with very, very important people. She was in fact, in the comics, she was in Civil War as well. She took part of Civil War. She took part of Endgame. She took part of trying to defeat Thanos with Carol Danvers' help. I mean, she's been in A-Force. I mean, the Ultimates. She has a lot of backgrounds with a lot of different teams within the Marvel Cinematic. The Marvel comic book. There's a Civil War 2. There's a Civil War 2. Maybe they will go that way. We'll have to wait and see. There's a second Civil War. But in this Civil War, Iron Man is in it, and in the cinematic universe, he's not. So, and it's also by Thanos that this Civil War actually happened. So again, maybe they might do different things. Either way, Spider-Man, she has connections with Spider-Man, she has connections with Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, Thor. That's the reason why I think that America Chavez might be even more important that they actually are leading on. And she's got like awesome superpowers again, man. Self-propelled flight. She can fly. She has the ability to fucking fly. She has superhuman speed, like I said before. Chavez can run and move at phenomenal speeds. Actually, Monica Rambeau told her she was actually surprised. She was stunned at how fast she was moving, even after transcending into a light form where everything stands still. So she's really, really fast. She has superhuman strength. She can travel through portals. She has a star portal creation, interdimensional travel, time travel. Invulnerability. She's bulletproof. And she has this power stomp technique that it was shown to her. It was taught by Madrimar, where America can focus her internal power into her feet and legs in order to deliver an energized shockwave with a single step. Come on. Again, also another connection with Loki. Very important. Kid Loki and Loki, our Loki. So she has like a lot of influence in the comics. Energy infusion. She has superhuman longevity, which is something that I mentioned before, and hyper-cosmic awareness. Like, she's aware of everything that's happening in the multiverse. She has knowledge of that, and she doesn't struggle as much as other people to understand. She just knows all of that. Again, she's these are just like former powers. She's bilingual. She's capable of speaking both Spanish and English fluently. She's an amateur investigator and trained combatant. Now, the only weaknesses that she has is this Edge syndrome, which is the genetic disease that I was telling you about, where, her body, even though she has more longevity than the usual humans, normal humans have, there are certain times where at a certain point she starts to lose all of her physical strength. But anyway, so that's it. That's the main aspect, and that's the reason why I think she might be more important that a lot of people, or at least the movie, is leading on. First of all, there's confirmation from Benedict Cumberbatch that she's just not. This is her beginning. This is the beginning of her story. There's a lot more to dive in with her story, and also, I am not one of those lucky folks who have seen the movie beforehand so they can review it and, tell you if it's good or not, yada, yada, yada. But it has been said that she is more in this movie that the trailer is showing. She has more protagonism. She's not the main lead by no means. We all know that Doctor Strange and Wanda will probably be the main leads, the main people who will take on the action. But we can expect to see more of America Chavez, just a blink and you miss it cameo, like, who? Venom. Yeah. But yeah, and I think that she's the future. She actually becomes the leader of Young Avengers. She becomes the leader of many groups. And good gore. Good lord. After everything that she's been through, there's a little bit more to her story coming to an end. But I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna tell you about it. I'm not gonna tell you about it because I might or may not be spoiling things if they actually talk about it, or they might develop that story the way it is. So but yeah, I'm excited about America Chavez. That's it's not just the fact that she's lesbian and she's LGBTQ friend, she belongs to that community. even leaving that for aside, I think honestly she has like some really effing interesting, effing amazing background and story and origins. And I think if this is the beginning, I mean, we can hope for a movie, perhaps her own movie, perhaps her being more appearing in other films, perhaps in series. She also has connection with She-Hulk, which we will have a TV series as well on Disney Plus, I'm sorry. And so yeah, I mean, I think that she's gonna rock. She's gonna rock on, and I'm looking forward for it. So anyway, this is my review. No, this is not my review. Actually, this is just, I'll tell you a little bit about the character. I think that I've talked about it like way too much. I got like 30 minutes. Anyways, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sticking all the way to the end. I hope you have liked the video. Please subscribe, like, share if you really like this video, if you enjoyed it. And see you on the next video. And as always, take care.